Good morning, everyone. This is Dan with Senior E-Bike Nation. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to get out and do a range test on the Blix Sol Eclipse, and we're probably going to do a 30-mile ride, so I will see you guys on the trail. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan with Senior E-Bike Nation. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. We are going to be doing a range test on the Sol Eclipse today, the Blix Sol Eclipse, and I'm going to do a 30-mile ride today. So I'm going to follow the detour, which will get me maybe even a little better than 30 miles. So we're going to see what the battery does as far as degradation on this ride. So again, we're going to be doing a range test only today, and we're going to be riding in primarily pedal assist 4 the entire ride. And then I'm going to also do a range test on pedal assist 5 on another video. Or I may even do it on the way back today in pedal assist 5. So I may have a couple different videos going here. Actually, I just may do a range test as much as I can on all pedal assist levels today. Maybe do 5 miles on each one of them. But I'm not sure yet. I just may stay in pedal assist 4 the entire ride today, up to the 15-mile marker, a little better. So yeah, I had this out yesterday to do a maiden ride on it, and it's a very comfortable bike. As I mentioned, this bike does not have any kind of suspension, but it actually done pretty well without suspension. I was not disappointed in the ride at all. But yeah, we got a beautiful day today, probably low 70s. And we're out in the morning, so it's going to warm up a little bit as the day goes on. But yeah, this bike seems to be doing extremely well for a cruiser. I think this bike even may be a little more comfortable than I had with my electric bike company, Model R. Again, this bike is not built for speed, it's built for comfort. So I'm thinking it ought to have at least 20 to 30% left on the battery once I do 30 miles. I'm taking my weight into consideration. It's a pretty flat terrain. Really flat surface on the ride. There's only one little minor hill you got to go up, and that's pretty much about it. But yeah, I try to get out as much as I can. Probably get out about 4 days this week if I can. Got to take advantage of these beautiful days. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video I put up yesterday for the Sol Eclipse. We did about an 18-mile ride yesterday. And as you can see, we're kind of riding along in pedal assist 4 here at about 15 miles an hour. That's about what I did yesterday on it as well. Got another bike coming in here for long as soon as I get a tracking number for it. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be another cruiser, but I think it's going to be a 26-inch fat tire bike. As I mentioned yesterday, this is really not a fat tire bike at all. It is a cruiser, and I think the tire size on it is about 2.4, and I think on the tire, and I think the wheel's about 2.75. One of my subscribers commented on that after they looked at the website a little closer, so I thank him for correcting me on that. I had listed it as a 2.75 tire, and it's actually not. It's only a 2.4. But when you're just cruising, that really doesn't matter at all. Haven't been this way for a little while. I've been always taking the detour to go up to the blessing box, but we're going to follow the detour. It's going to take us out of the way a little bit, but we still got about another 8 months for them to work on that trail, and the overpass that goes over the trail, it's going to be up into September, October, maybe a little later. I think it's actually closer to November before they get that done. Yeah, Caleb found him a job doing some landscaping, and a company does a lot of mowing. So he went to work for him. Pretty good money. I think they're paying him $15 an hour, and he's out of school now, so he wants to save his money so he can do another e-bike conversion. And we'll be taping that one and doing a video for you on that one. He done another conversion on his other bike, and he did a really good job on it. But I told him I'm not interested in riding 35 to 39 mile an hour on the road, and that's what his bike will do. But that's too fast for me riding a e-bike for sure. Now I'll review them at 40 mile an hour, but it's going to have to be on a trail that's I know has not got hardly any traffic on it at all. And we have some like that around here. So anyway, we're going to go by the detour up here and head on down towards the next intersection so we can get back on the trail, shall we say. As I mentioned, I am taking the detour this time, which takes you about 1.5 miles to 2 miles out of the way. Yep, definitely got the detour sign all the way across the trail. This is normally the way we'll head if we want to go downtown and follow the river. This is the way we'll normally go. This part of the trail's got a lot of canopy, which is good. But yeah, the comfort on this bike is extremely good for no suspension on either the front or the back. I thought about putting suspension on the front of this, but I don't see the need for it. I'm still trying to get my wife to get on this thing, so this can maybe be her e-bike. I'm not sure how comfortable she'll be on it, but so we're going to work on that in the next few days. But yeah, I'd love to have her come out and ride with me. But we got to find a bike that'll fit her to where she feels very comfortable on it. And this bike may be it. The Electric Bike Company Cruiser was the same style, but it had a larger step through over the bike than this one does. This one's probably lower than 3 of my Fat Tire 20-inch bike step throughs. Or should I say 2 of them, the other one's not. But this one seems to be a lot lower than the other ones as I'm riding the bike. But I love this color of the sky blue. On your left. But I'll be showing you all that once I get to my halfway point on the bike. We'll do another review on the description of it. And again, I will put their link to the Blix in the description box. And if I can add a couple of the accessories that I put on it, I'll put that in the description box as well. A link to those. But yeah, if you guys got any comments and you want to share some things about your e-bike adventures and things that you do, I always welcome them comments down there, because this is a e-bike community. So we share a lot of things with different people, and I learned some things that I did not know about the bike that I needed to be corrected on, like the tire size. So that is what really helps when you have people comment on that video, so we can share information. Here's where we're going to turn right. This is where the detour is going to take us. And we'll just follow it where it's going. I'm gonna let some of this traffic pass before I turn right here. Got a few cars coming down through here. Yeah, looks like we can get going here. Very busy intersection right here. I'm in contact also with the guy in California that he's doing a prototype on a scooter that he wants to have me review once he gets that thing launched. So I did have a conversation yesterday about a scooter. Yeah, finally got the light. As I mentioned before, when you're on the road, you got to have your head on a swivel and remember situational awareness. Those are two important things when you're riding on a road. It is much different riding on the road than it is on a bike trail. There are so many things you got to look out for. Fortunately, this detour just turns right back up into the neighborhood right up here. So we didn't have to ride on the road very far, the main road anyway. We'll be on the neighborhood streets here for a little bit, and then we'll hop back up on the trail. But yeah, I really like this throttle when I need to like go up a hill like I'm getting ready to climb, or just leave it in pedal assist 4 and it climbs up pretty easily. But yeah, this bike is definitely built for cruising. As you will see once I do the description on these wraparound handlebars and the features of the bike, you're really going to like some of the stuff I'm going to show you. You just use a little bit of throttle here to get up this hill once I get the pedal assist going. So this ride today is going to give us a little better accurate assessment of the battery on this bike. So that's really why I wanted to get it out today and do that 30-mile ride. Yeah, as I mentioned, they made a new bike path to go up onto the trail once we get through this neighborhood. Made it really nice. But yeah, these mechanical brakes just coming down this hill did extremely well. And how much difference there is on mechanical brakes, I don't know, versus hydraulic. I don't see a whole lot of difference. But again, it's different riding a 26-inch bike than it is a 20-inch fat tire bike. Big difference. We've come about 4.2 miles now. Again, I stop at all stop signs. Very important. If I'm going to preach safety, I need to practice safety. A lot of road construction going on around the area, just like everybody else has. Yeah, about another block and a half, we'll get back on the trail. As I noticed yesterday, I put it in pedal assist 0, and I had no problem whatsoever riding this bike on pedal assist 0. So I think from a standpoint of weight, the Blix is definitely lighter than the electric bike company is, the Model R. And here's our little trail to get back up on the trail. So this is about 1.5 miles out of the way. Typically right here I would have it about 3 to 3.2 miles in, and I've got 4.7. So yeah, it's about 1.5 miles longer than I'm used to. But yeah, as I use the throttle on this thing, it's got a really good torque. It's just like my side rushers, my Ovia and my Komoda, as far as responsiveness on that throttle. I'm very impressed with that on this bike. So far I haven't depleted any bars, and I'm at 5 miles. As I mentioned, we'll be stopping up at the food blessing box and dropping off a couple items. I will be fast forwarding a lot through this video and maybe only slowing it down for pertinent things I want you to see. So yeah, we're going to shorten the video by speeding up the ride as well. So where I'm not talking a lot or discussing issues about the bike or other e-bikes, I'll have the music on with that speeding up the video process, so you guys can fast forward through the ride so you can get to the pertinent information that I want you to see. Yeah, this pedal assist 4 is very comfortable at 15 miles an hour. And as I mentioned, coming back, we'll bump it up to pedal assist 5, and we'll see what kind of range we'll get on the battery. And I really can't tell you on percent or voltage because this just has energy bars, and I pretty much just have to guess at what's left in the battery. I'm going to look at the controller and see if I can figure out how much voltage that I used on a ride, and then it'll be able to help me. So once I get up to the halfway mark, I will go to trip B so I can do the pedal assist 5 ride, so that way I'll know what kind of stats I got on both rides, if I can figure that out in the controller. I can tell some of it on my Strava app because it's pretty accurate. It'll tell me miles per hour and some other things. As I mentioned yesterday, The only issues I had coming back, I forgot to lock the battery down, so it come loose a couple times after it hit a couple of these bumps like that, and it jarred loose and it shut the power off to the bike. So I did learn to lock that battery down so we don't have that issue. Alrighty, we're going to put a couple things here in the pantry box. Not a whole lot of stuff in there today, so we're going to be adding a few things here. Make sure I got the right side of the bag I need here. I'm going to put in some ramen noodles like I always do. And again, as I mentioned, this is a food pantry box that I try to keep filled with some other people. This is a little free pantry. Take what you need, donate what you can, feed the creek. So yeah, let me get a sip of coffee here and we're gonna work on down the trail. Alrighty, here we go. We've actually come 6 miles now. And again, we're going to stay in pedal assist 4. I normally ride between 20 and 22 mile an hour, especially when I'm riding my 20-inch fat tire bikes. But when I'm riding these cruisers, I want to keep the speed around 15 mile an hour. Because that's kind of where the bike should be when you're cruising anyway. Speed limit on these trails are 20 mile an hour. So I try to stay within that the best I can. Not a whole lot of traffic on the bike trail today. Few people here and there, but it's a weekday. Again, this is Wednesday. I really do lose track of what day it is since I'm retired now. So sometimes I just got to kind of think about it, what day it is. But since I retired, this is what I truly love doing. This is an absolute passion of mine besides my gardening, but I like this better. Because you can get out and enjoy nature. And I get it, the affordability on these e-bikes they're not that great. I mean, this one retails for $16.99 plus tax. And I think it's worth every penny of it, actually. But if you can afford to get out and ride as a senior or somebody with disabilities, I highly encourage it. You're going to find things different on every ride you go. You're going to meet different people. I see deer all the time on the trail. Maybe today we'll see one. It's hard to say. But just to get out and enjoy Mother Nature is priceless. I seen a little snake cross the trail a little while ago. Haven't seen that yet this year. That's the first on that one, little garter snake crossing the trail. He was in a hurry too. I did remember to bring an extra battery for my camera because I'm going to need it if I'm going to tape coming back on a return ride on pedal assist 5, so I did remember to bring that. I assured that bell pretty easily. Got a little breeze coming out of the east like we did yesterday, and kind of more in my face right now than it is behind me. But we've had some gorgeous weather. It got really hot, and then we didn't get any rain. Now we're getting some rain, and my vegetables are doing so much better. Like I mentioned, I planted like 47 tomato plants, about 25 pepper plants, and a bunch of other stuff, so everything's doing really well. Got one bump coming up here that this bike don't really like, about right here. So yeah, I on some of those bigger bumps, I can feel it when you don't have the suspension on that bike. But overall, I mean, that's not an issue for me. That would not stop me from buying this bike at all. As I mentioned, it's very quiet for a cruiser. You don't hear that motor at all. So that's a big difference in the motors for sure. How you doing? Look at the flag up there at the 911 Memorial. It's kind of more out of the north than the east. This is normally 6.5 mile right here, and I'm 8 miles. So yeah, it's almost 2.5 miles difference taking the detour. If we're going to get a deer sighting, it's going to be somewhere in the next couple miles. It seems to be where they'll be crossing the trail as I'm doing these rides. What I have noticed, I am getting a little resistance on pedal assist 4, which is good. I can feel it in my legs. And that's really the kind of workout you want on a bike. You don't want it just to be where the pedals are rotating very easily. You want to have a little resistance when you're riding. That's going to give you the most benefit from a health standpoint. And I'm staying a very consistent 14.9 to 15.2 on the speed. Not quite as breezy today as it was yesterday. The one woman heard me and the other one did not, so she kind of pulled her over a little bit. I was watching. You got to make sure that it don't dart out in front of you, especially when you're talking about baby carriages like you're seeing ahead. You got to be really careful with that. I give them all the room and the courtesy that I need to. Yeah, you upset Mama Bear, you're gonna hear about it. Right about 9.1 miles right now. I'm so used to going 22 to 23 mile an hour, it feels like I'm going extremely slow right now. But again, when I'm doing a review on a cruiser, I want to go at about a 15 mile an hour pace. And as far as battery degradation, that's going to help you better anyway. If you keep a more consistent speed, stay off the throttle, you're going to get a little better battery range for sure. And range on e-bikes is very important to older people. And dependability, it's not about speed at all. Now I kind of like a mixture of both, and I'm 71 years old. Come a little about 9.7 miles now, and we're still no energy bars have dropped at all yet. So it seems like I may be getting a little better range today on my battery than I got yesterday. So we'll see how it all pans out once I get done. Seeing a few more people on the trail as I ride along here. I think that might have been an e-bike, but I'm not sure. It looked like a 20-inch step-through folding bike, maybe. I think by on mechanical brakes, I think you're going to get just a little more noise out of them than you do hydraulics. I've noticed that a little bit on these bikes. On your left. Now the wind seems like it's coming out of the due east now, which is in my face here, so I can feel a little bit on the bike. Especially on my effort level, I can feel just a little more on this wind resistance, which is normal. On your left. Yeah, but the comfort on the seat is really good. I don't have any issues whatsoever so far, and I've already went 10.8 miles. And it feels like I just got on the bike. So, and it does take a little bit when you start riding either bikes or e-bikes. It takes a little bit to get your tush used to that bike seat. A lot of people go to the really fat bike seats. I do. I have one on my Zoda Zephyr. I have a little fatter seat. It didn't seem, the one that came from the factory didn't seem to be very comfortable, so I changed that out. I think I put on the Giddy Up seats. And I've got another one. It's got a Bikeroo on it, which is another good brand. Them are a couple of your better bike seats out there. Now, as far as helmets go, I am really sold on this Nito, X-N-I-T-O. It's got lights on the front and back of this helmet. It is a very comfortable helmet, and it's been crash tested at 28 miles an hour, where most of your cheaper helmets are only going to be crash tested about 20 miles an hour. So this one's right around 28. I will put a description down, the link to the down the description box on the helmet if I can remember. And I think the helmet retails at about $150, but you do save on my channel. There's a discount code on this helmet, so before you guys go out and purchase a Nito, check out my channel and see if you can save a little money. They send it to me to review, so I really love the bike helmet, so I use it all the time now. Right here has been our normal stopping point if I want to get about 18 miles in. But we're going on by that today. We're going to do another, I think about 5 more miles from here. Maybe a little less. And then I'll get off the bike and explain a few things about it, and I'll grab a couple sandwiches I brought for lunch, and we'll head back, and then we'll be doing pedal assist 5 on the way back. So far I've still got full energy bars. I have not come down at all. I don't really notice the bars coming down. Do I get about a 13 to 14 mile mark on my ride, then I'll notice it dropping just a little bit. So we'll see what it does today on pedal assist 4. So I'll hit that 13 to 14 mile marker before I get to my halfway point. We'll see if it degrades any. Use just a little bit of throttle here to get up the hill. Very little. Yeah, let me know if there's anything you like to see me change up when I'm doing these rides. Again, a lot of folks want me to review different bikes, but I can't afford to just go out there and buy an e-bike just because they want it to review. There's a lot better chance of you emailing that company and mentioning my website or my bike channel to review that. You got better pull on those manufacturers than I do. I had one subscriber, I'm not sure she still is, but she kept telling me over and over that Rad was going to send me a trike to review, and they was going to get a hold of me, and they never did. So I take all that for a grain of salt when a subscriber tells me something's going to happen. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. And I don't even tell you I'm getting a bike until I get a tracking number. I won't tell you even what kind of bike it's going to be. I want to get confirmation before I start telling you I'm getting something and then it doesn't come through. I had one company was going to send me a trike recently, but within 24 hours they sent me another email back that they couldn't do it at that point. Now, why people change their minds on these things, I don't know. There's the Ranger right there on the bike trail. You see them every now and then patrolling these trails. Really good to have that. These counties we have here on the bike trails, whether it be Montgomery or Greene County, they do such a great job on maintaining these trails. I mean, they mow them consistently. They got these great big blowers come by and blow things off the trail. In the wintertime, they pretty much leave them alone. They don't do much. But in the fall, they're actually, they're always getting the leaves off the trails. Because if them leaves get wet, they're a little bit dangerous riding on. You gotta be a little careful with wet leaves. And wet grass for that matter. Coming up on a little area here called Killcare Speedway. It's where you see a lot of cars drag race on the weekends, and go-karts go around the go-kart track, and a lot of competitive racing over here. You'll normally see that Thursday through Sunday. I'll come up here sometimes and, well, I tell you, it's very loud. But you can see it over there. But it's nice, you can just sit on the bike trail and watch them race without having to pay admission to get in when you get on up here a little bit, so that's kind of nice. I did go down 2 energy bars right there, and we're at 12.6 miles. That's probably about average. Again, I'm going into the wind, and that's going to make a little difference today. And as soon as I stop here, that it pops right back up, so I'm probably down about a bar or two. Which really means to me about 15% of my battery has been used up. And once I get up to the next intersection, I only got about 3 miles to go to get to my halfway point. This one does not have a color display. I would like to see Blix upgrade that a little bit. To a color display and something that's got percentages or what watt you're riding at. That's important. So I'd like to see them upgrade that. I don't know if that's just on this bike that they have that. Some of their more expensive bikes may have those color displays. I'm not sure. But this is normally about our 12-mile marker right here at this intersection. And again, it's right at 3 miles to where I'm going. See a few deer every now and then running along these fences. I see that occasionally. We got a creek on the left side down here. You can see where trees smash these fences down. And that's why they don't put top rails on these fences. They know they're going to get crushed, so. Never see too many people on the trail through here. Occasionally 1 or 2 people, and that's about it. Yeah, I'm down a solid 2 bars now, so that's pretty good. And we come about 13.3 miles. So that's seems to be about 20% of the battery right there. Maybe 25. Again, I'm going on what I think the bars are at once they're down to a certain level. I'm still doing my consistent 14 to 14.5 mile an hour on level surfaces. And again, I'm still in pedal assist 4, which we're going to stay in till we get there. Then we'll bump it up to 5 coming back. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this bike. As you can see how quiet the motor is, you can't even hear it. Or very little anyway. But the comfort of the handlebars and the grips, I don't have to reach at all. I'm more of a upright position for sure, which is really a lot better on your back. So for people getting older and seniors, these wraparound handlebars are really good because it keeps you more in a vertical position on that seat. You're not having to lean over to grab the bars or the handlebars. And it's got a great adjustment. I can even pull these bars back farther if I want to. And that would be good for somebody shorter, obviously. Now, I believe the weight on this bike is rated at 300 pounds. That's what I'm thinking that I read. And I'm almost pretty sure of that. This would be a video number 3 of about 25 I'm going to do for the company. I'll be riding this bike most times when I want to do videos, because I want to get those videos that I promised knocked out. Now I may take some other rides with a couple other bikes. I may not be videoing on those rides, but I might. I may get back out this evening when Caleb gets home from work. We may get out. I really like doing evening rides, and to be honest with you, I like nighttime rides. They don't really, per se, close the trails. I think at 8 o'clock they're supposed to be closed, but for the most part, nobody says anything to you. So Caleb and I have rode these trails after dark and 9:30, 10 o'clock, and nobody has said a word to us. And at that time of night, you're not going to see anybody on the trail. You may see an occasional person, but that's about it. But I figured I could get a good solid 35 miles out of this battery without too much problem. Now I may only have 2 or 3 bars left when I get done, especially when I'm going to be in pedal assist 5 coming back. That's going to use some more energy on the battery. But I really wanted to see what it would do. I'm doing a pretty solid 14 mile an hour now. Going just uphill, just a slight incline right here. But for the most part, this 15 miles up and 15 miles back, there is very little incline. I think when I look at my Strava app, there may be about an 8 or 9 foot incline on this entire trail when you average it out, so it's pretty flat. Again, it was an old rail trail, and they had to have really flat surfaces for them railroads. I haven't actually been up this way in a little while. I think I got out a couple weeks ago through here, but it's been a while. I think the last time I came up this far, I used my Zota Zephyr, my 20-inch folding fat tire bike, and I really enjoy riding those 20-inch bikes. They're a blast. But if I just want to get out and leisurely cruise, this is the bike I'm going to get on. Yeah, we got about another mile and a half to mile and 3/4 to go. We're at 14.8 miles. This is about where we're normally at if I don't have the detour. So I guess I'm going to gain about a mile to a mile and a half with the detour. It should be pretty close to 16 miles once I get up here. There's a deer right there, you guys can see, just crossing the trail. And I'll tell you, they don't move much either. He's just sitting there looking at me. Finally got to see a deer. And they're certainly not afraid of people. Just crossed the 15-mile marker right there.
Fairground Road.
Didn't hear him. Not sure what he said, didn't hear him. Yeah, they got a nice little McDonald's and a couple other restaurants I could stop at if I wanted to. I normally don't do that, especially unless I have Caleb with me, because I want somebody watching those bikes. Hey guys, stopping for me. Yeah, they have the flashing lights where most people stop. You got to be careful. Some people just keep on going through. They don't care. So you got to be really careful before you cross that intersection, and this one for that matter too. Guy knew I was going to hit the sign already. I got about another 3/10 of a mile to go here, and we'll be at our halfway point. I know it's been a long video, but I'll fast forward through a lot of it. Got a few people out today. Couple up there getting ready to get their trikes off the truck. More like a wheelchair. That's pretty cool. Or maybe the wife can get out and ride, or who's ever disabled. I think that's cool. But yeah, here we are. This is called Xenia Station. You can go anywhere in Ohio from right here. It goes into 4 different directions. This is one of the main hubs of mini bike trails that actually comes out right here. Beautiful little place to stop and eat lunch, and used to be an old rail station back in the late 1800s, and of course they've remodeled it and changed a lot of it over the years, but yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, we're just gonna park right here, and we've come actually 15.8 miles according to the tripometer here. So yeah, let me turn my pedal assist off here. And got a little coffee spill on my bike here, which is splashing out of my cup holder, which is kind of normal. But yeah, let me talk about this bike a little bit. Let me actually pull this off. Got my chest mount on here, so we're going to pull that off and show you the bike. Again, this is the Blix Sol Eclipse. It is a 26-inch, really by 2.4-inch e-bike. It's more of a cruiser for sure. But let me talk about a few things this bike has. You have got 750 watt rear hub motor with a Shimano Tourney derailleur, and it's also got a 48 volt, I'm guessing maybe closer to a 16 amp hour, they call it watt hours on the bike. But yeah, I mean, it's a strong battery, and it does have mechanical disc brakes on the front and back. It does not have suspension. I could change suspension on the front of this, but I'm not going to. Again, they sent the bike for me to review, and I want to review it just as it is. And the battery, the one thing is important on this battery, you want to make sure it's locked down, because if you hit any bumps, that battery will come off that cradle down there, and your bike will shut off. So yeah, make sure that when you are riding this bike, make sure that you have the key turned in the right position to the right, so that'll lock that down to the frame, so you won't have those issues. I had that yesterday. It come a couple times, the battery come off the cradle, and my bike shut off until I figured out that I had to have that locked down, and that was my error. That wasn't the manufacturer's error. That was my error. The bike also come with Shimano for the gears here, Shimano gear shifter, and you actually use the twist throttle to go up and down on this. I typically stay in 7 unless I'm going up a hill and I want to conserve battery. I may change that to a lower gear, but typically I ride in 7. And the bike also has a black and white display. That's something I wish they would change a little bit on the Blix. Go to also, instead of an energy bar, go to percentages on the or volts on the display here. I wish they would change that. It's got a thumb twist throttle right here, and your pedal assist levels are here. The bottom will shut off your bike, and then as you can see, up and down will change your pedal assist controls, and it goes from 1 to 5. I always try to turn that off before I get off the bike, because you don't want to hit that throttle when you're stepping off that bike, and that bike will lunge on you, so you got to be a little careful with that. But other than that, I mean, it's got a very comfortable seat on it. It's got an adjustable seat, and one good thing about this bike, one of my other bikes, you have to actually take this seat off to get this battery off. This one you do not. It only comes up so far down here and it slides out, so that's an advantage over a couple of the other e-bikes that I have. We have to remove the seat. You don't have to do it on this one. But it's got a wire management's done very well. As you can see, there's not a lot of wires sticking out here, one going to the headlight here, but they're also going down into the down tube, which is done very well. And I think this bike comes in 3 different colors. I think it comes in black and the sky blue, and then maybe a gray color, I'm not sure. Now, a couple things they sent me with this bike, which normally doesn't come with the bike, but they wanted me to review them. They come with these fenders. That was an accessory that they sent to me. It came with this bike rack. That was another accessory that they gave me. And they also gave me these panniers, and these are very nice panniers. I mean, they're very deep and on both sides. So yeah, I want to thank Blix for sending those couple accessories to me as well. But yeah, I mean, the bike will do about 20 miles an hour. I don't know if you can change that in the controller. I don't plan on doing that. And it'll do about 20 whether you're in pedal assist or rather you are using throttle only. So yeah, they got their emblem on their batteries, which is very nice. They've got the emblem on their seats, very nice, and their logo, I mean, and then you also see it on the bike. It does not come with the rear tail light. It only comes with the reflector back behind the seat. As you can see, it does come with a headlight. So very nice touch. And I think it's got 180 millimeter disc rotors. I think that's what that is. Now let's talk about a couple of the accessories that I did buy for this bike, which I do for most of my bikes. I always buy this particular cup holder. I really like it. It just clamps on. It does very good. And then I also purchased these mirrors. I really like. I don't like the bar end mirrors too much on the handlebars. I really like these here. So, but yeah, it's a very comfortable bike. We've again come 15.8 miles, and I'm only down 2 bars. So I guess I've used about 25% of the battery is what I'm thinking. I'll know more once I do the full range test going back on the full 30 miles or 31 miles. So we'll see how that works out. One other thing it did come with I really like are these metal pedals. Most bikes come with plastic ones, and I throw them away and buy metal ones for those. I don't like the plastic metal or pedals at all. So yeah, anybody got any questions on this, put it down in the comments section what you guys think about this bike, and share and like the video, and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. I got several videos coming out with new bikes and maybe some merchandise coming in here that I can review as well. So anyway, I will see you guys on the next video.